Before we get into the review, look, amidst all of this COVID-19 stuff, we are trying to give you a little bit of content. However, we have shut down Dead End Studios, and pretty much a lot of our content is just getting put on the back burner. So well, we do know that you guys are fans and have been fans for close to 10 years now. So we still feel that want to put something out for you guys, but at the same time, look, you see everybody, we got gloves and stuff on, we done wiped everything down, so we take this very seriously. But obviously the fire that we was on at the beginning of 2020, that's gonna slow down just a little bit. But once we get past this time, we will definitely pick it back up. That's something that we've been talking about for a long time, to try to give you guys as much content as possible. That is not stopping, but we have to be responsible.
The Rona is real. The Rona is real.
Yeah. Everybody ready?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. No politics, no BS. Dead End Hip Hop album review. Jay Electronica, a written testimony. The way Jay Electronica got popular was through Act 1, The Eternal Sunshine, that he put on his MySpace page. So you already know how old that shit is. And then this is also how you know this is old as hell. He had 30,000 downloads, and that's what got him national attention.
That would be a flop now, wouldn't it?
Super flop. 30,000, wow, like that's nothing.
That
but
crazy.
Back in the day, back in his day when he was blowing up in the mid 2000s, that was a lot. That was enough to get you noticed. Just Blaze, I would say, is probably the person that is most responsible for blowing him up, because Exhibit C was something that Just Blaze put on Tony Touch's Sirius radio program, and obviously
I'm surprised Just Blaze don't have any production on here. I'm kind of surprised. I was kind of surprised.
Yeah,
he's waiting for the actual debut solo album.
Maybe,
bruh.
Maybe that's what it is.
And also to kind of piggyback on that, Shiny Suit Theory, like that was dropped.
How they put that on there?
November 15, 2010.
Yeah, that was right after Exhibit C. Yeah, this was the time, like after he had dropped Exhibit C. Of course, everybody was like, "Oh shit!"
Of course.
So then he started dropping like Lucy's, like every like 4 or 5 months. And I remember that being one of the Lucy's. And I saw that, I'm like, "Is this?" I'm like, maybe this is remix, or maybe this is different.
I thought
verses.
that too.
I'm like, maybe it might be different verses. But when it came on, I was like,
it's the same
"Oh my
shit.
god, the exact same song."
I got a theory for all of this, but I'm gonna wait.
Listening to Shiny Suit Theory in the context of this project, it almost felt like they had to fit everything else around that. At least that's my perception.
What you mean?
Because Shiny Suit Theory, first of all, doesn't sound like it was recorded, obviously, in the same place. Like it sounded that different.
Once I saw it, I was like, okay, it can't be. But then once it came, I'm like, oh yeah, this shit do not sound like the rest of the album.
And see, I didn't look at the track list. I just played
either.
it.
Oh, okay, I got you.
And it came on. I was like, why does this sound familiar?
I thought Spotify was fucked up and they played an old song.
So you think he shouldn't have?
No.
So you don't think he should
I'm not
have?
saying that. I'm not saying that. Like,
It could have been a remade version.
yeah, I would have been happy with a remade version, and I'm not mad.
Remade like new verses, or just what?
It don't need to be on this fucking
I didn't think
album.
so.
It's
No.
only 9 tracks
No.
as it is.
Yeah.
But
It
it
didn't
fits
even-
though.
It doesn't fit.
It fits the theme of this album.
What's the theme?
Well, I'm saying like as far as the theme of it being Jay Electronica, it fits in that regard.
I feel
But
you.
sonically, it doesn't.
Sonically, it doesn't because it sounds like it was recorded at a different time.
It does. It does.
Oh, he was about to
10
say
years
that.
prior.
And I think the biggest thing that took the album back, because like you, Rod, when this came out, because obviously we had questions about it, even though he put a date on it. Like, come on, bro. Like, you've been talking about an album for so long. I couldn't take him all the way that serious. So when it actually came out, I was like, okay, let me add this. And I didn't want to look at it. I just wanted to play it. So obviously the intro track is just, going through just talking.
Yeah.
So the first song, Ghost of Soulja Slim, and mind you, it don't have no features on here except for Travis Scott and The Dream. And that's pretty much it. So when I heard Jay, it doesn't have him as a
You
feature.
mean it doesn't say it?
It doesn't,
doesn't
say
say
it
it
as a feature.
Yeah.
So when I heard Jay, I'm like, okay, cool, bet. I would expect at least one Jay verse. You know what I'm saying? With Jay Electronica, this, that. Okay, I get it. But then it goes to the Blinding, and that song is super dope. The beat switch, everything. I love it.
I ain't like the switch. I ain't like the second.
Really?
Beat. The first
made
beat,
no sense.
The first beat was great. I feel like the energy for that first beat and them two rapping the way they was rapping on the first beat.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. But then when it and it just
I like
ain't
the
like this.
second
And then
beat
I ain't
better.
like the Travis Scott touch. I didn't need that.
Really?
What was his touch?
Blinding. That's all he was saying.
That's it.
Yeah.
Blinding
That was
under
it.
me.
Yeah, they went and got
So-
Travis Scott to do Kanye's part because
Right.
Jay-Z don't fuck with Kanye.
I figured that much.
But it was hard though. I like the way that it
That
sounded.
sounded.
Yeah, but then again, Jay's on it, and I'm like, okay,
What is
like-
happening here?
Yeah, what's happening here?
Yeah.
So okay, so then I'm like, all right, cool. You know, I get one of my favorite rappers, even though I wasn't anticipating a Jay-Z album, and then it goes to Never Ending Story,
Alchemist joint.
Alchemist joint, super
Finally
dope,
got Alchemist on that.
super
Kills
dope.
that beat.
Man.
But then Jay's on it again.
so in your mind,
So and then obviously Shiny Suit Theory, I know because
That's
again,
it,
I
yeah.
thought maybe they might change it, but I know Jay's on that, so I'm like, nigga,
Like
hey, there's 10 songs and half of this shit already
Yeah.
got Jay on
you
it.
got Universal Soldier.
Then you got Universal Soldier, and then you go to Flux Capacitor, and then the only joint that doesn't have Jay-Z on here is Fruits of the Spirit. But then it like Ezekiel's Wheel was dope, but again it has Jay. I'm just
Yeah,
like,
he was doing the hook on
Yeah,
the
he
He was
last.
doing the hook on the last two joints.
Yeah,
But it's
that
still
nice.
Jay.
It was nice. It was nice of Jay-Z to let Jay like have that one. You know.
But bruh, like and I felt such a letdown because it's been so long that we've been talking about Jay
And
Electronica.
I was gonna ask Rod because I know Rod has kind of been like the only one in the crew that's kind of
Hopeful.
was still
Wanted,
yeah, was
yeah.
still hopeful, and
Yeah.
we was all like,
Yeah, fuck
this
that shit.
fuck that shit. So
But he
yeah,
does that every year though.
I
Remember,
know,
this is
yeah.
the
No,
only
stop.
year he didn't.
Yeah, oh,
This
yeah,
is the
yeah,
only
yeah.
year you
You
didn't
didn't,
say,
Wow.
I want Jay Electronica album, and this
right,
is the year
and that's
he
the
does.
year he does.
Yeah.
See, I was gonna ask Rod. I hate you not on camera. So
No, that's
like,
cool.
Was this 10-year wait? Was this worth it?
I was torn, man. Like with Feefo. Like y'all know I love Jay, right?
Right.
But even though I love Jay, it's not what I necessarily wanted. I wanted Jay Electronica.
Which one? Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm
Gotta
sorry.
Jay Elec-
specify.
say it,
I'm
Jay
sorry, I'm
Elec,
sorry. I'm
whatever,
sorry.
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, we know what because it's supposed to be a Jay Electronica album.
Right,
So
right.
so that's to go without being said, right? So, but yeah, so I was just like, like Feefo said, like he wasn't featured on it. So I'm like, what the hell is happening?
Because he
here?
wasn't a feature.
This wasn't necessarily Watch the Throne. I feel like they should have called this shit Black Excellence. Just based off of what they did with Watch the Throne, I felt like that's what this was.
Black Excellence.
I'm-
They didn't rap about anything except for they should have called it 5%. Because
Well-
all they rapped about the entire time was about fucking Islam.
Nick called it
Nah.
Watch the Quran.
Call it that too. But nah, Jay had that one line. I want to say it was on the
said
Never
one
Ending
line,
Story.
Right.
But you know me, like I could only remember one, maybe two lines. I'm not.
I
Myke
read
or
the
Beezy
lyrics.
Kid.
He didn't do a lot of Black Excellence
Okay.
shit. He was more on Jay Electronica.
Yeah.
Thank you.
He
His
was.
own
Yeah,
shit.
he was on that conscious.
Because I was like, when I
was
didn't
on
know
that
he was
conscious
Muslim.
shit.
Like,
Yeah.
is Jay like
I
is
was gonna
Jay
ask
Z
you
Muslim?
that. I didn't know he was Muslim.
I never knew him to be Muslim. So when he was talking about Allah and stuff, I mean, he calls himself Hov, like Jay
Yeah.
Hov. But like,
Right.
I never knew him to be. Maybe he transitioned or something. I don't know.
Or maybe that's why he's comfortable calling himself Jehovah. Because it seems like a Christian would not call themselves that.
I think Jay just rapping.
Well, I'm
think
going to
so.
go ahead and say, thank God for Jay-Z.
Yep.
Because Jay-Z saved this album. He outshined Jay Elec on every single song they rapped together. And I feel like as mean as and disrespectful as this is going to sound, Jay Electronica should be embarrassed.
So you would
This
get Joe Budden tip because Joe Budden I think came out and said that.
I heard what Joe Budden said, but it sounded like Joe Budden was joking and trolling.
Oh, okay. I don't know the context. I just saw the headline.
I watched the whole video.
Oh,
I was
okay.
at home, couldn't leave.
Yeah.
So I watched the whole shit. I think Joe Budden was kind of trolling. Nothing about what I'm saying right now I'm trolling. I'm being 100% honest. That this doesn't even sound like the Eternal Sunshine Jay Electronica.
Like nothing on it to you?
No.
I text my homie Glenn out because he's a big Jay-Z fan. I'm like, yo, Jay-Z is really breathing life into this album, dude.
No, I'm not even a Jay-Z fan. And this shit made me want to go back and listen to every fucking Jay-Z album ever made.
They're not like this though.
Well, I know why.
Yeah.
I know why. This motherfucker, and this is probably a conspiracy theory, and that's fine. Jay-Z, the shit that I've heard, he don't rap like this. You know who does? The person he's been hanging out with the whole lot.
Man.
I don't give a fuck what anybody on the planet Earth says.
Really?
Jay-Z took cues from Mac Homie. I don't give a fuck what Jay says. I don't give either Jay. Jay and Jay. I don't give a fuck.
Jay and Jay.
He clearly took cues. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
But Jay-Z don't rap like this. But once again, thank Allah that he did.
Because he saved his
if
album.
Jay-Z was not on, there wouldn't be an album.
No, there wouldn't
My
be.
theory is, I think the only reason Jay-Z is all over this project is because without Jay-Z, this shit would have been an EP. Because I think that they've been just waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and Jay Elect wasn't gonna do this shit.
And I
He
think
just
Jay was like,
dicking
"Look, man, come on, man."
And maybe the contract maybe had a 10-year gap on it or a 10-year time limit on it, and they're like, "Oh, come on, man! Like this
gotta
shit about
get
to run
one.
out. You gotta drop something." But when I listened to this the first time through, I was like, what the fuck is going on here? This is ridiculous. By the third track, I'm just listening for Jay-Z verses. Because Jay Elect wasn't really saying that much. Jay-Z came out and said, you had to have a strap if you want to wear your necklaces. Was it necklace? Yeah, you gotta have a strap if you want to wear a necklace. Niggas' hands around your throat. I got it wrong. What was
Because
the
he was
line?
like, you talking about the choker reference?
Yeah, the choker reference. Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta have a strap if you want to wear your necklace. Niggas' hands around your throat. I call that a choker reference.
Yeah.
I don't think Jay Elect touched that bar
Slick
throughout the
wordplay
rest of
right
the
there.
album. And the thing about it is, 11 years ago, Jay Electronica would have murdered that bar in half a bar.
He would have.
So I don't get what the hell happened.
Don't forget the OJ line.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Backstabbers, you don't want to take it back to the OJ.
Man.
Yeah.
Man.
Come on.
Ooh, man.
He ain't as sweet as the OJ.
man.
He was spazzing.
I was
throughout
like,
this
what the
project.
hell? I almost texted you. I'm like,
know.
I was gonna save it for the video. I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, right, what the fuck got into this?
I was
motherfucker?
overly excited. Like I said, while I was excited, I was still torn. I was like,
Because
because it was just like,
He
damn,
ripping
I
Jay
wanted a
Electronica
Jay
apart.
Electronica album.
Yeah.
But I love Jay on it. I don't know how the fuck to feel. I kept running back and forth upstairs to Naomi. Like, yo, like, what the hell? I don't know what's happening. Like, what is happening right now?
Yeah.
Jay-Z is saving Jay Elect's album.
Yep.
Because I don't think there'd be an album if Jay-Z wasn't.
And I
don't think so
100% agree with that because it almost feels like there may have been like half songs or songs like Fruits of the Spirit, like a whole bunch of those.
Yep.
And this is what he showed Jay, and Jay was like, Jay-Z. And Jay-Z was like, hey man, hey, cue all that shit. Let me go in here and let me just do something on this shit because I 100% agree with you, Myke. If Jay was not on this album, this shit would have been a major flop. It would have
Yes.
been a major disappointment for somebody that was heralded as one of the best lyricists 10 years ago. There's all of this anticipation. And then, like, if you would have gave us this project without Jay-Z, bro.
I think it still is what you said, a flop and a disappointment to a lot of people.
Only because it says Jay Electronica. Only because this is a Jay Electronica debut. If it said the both of them, I don't think it would have been a disappointment.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
But
I think it
we,
would've
I think
still-
we still needed a Jay Electronica album first, though.
I
Exactly.
agree. No, I agree.
Yeah, because you want to know if he can hold a project on
Exactly,
his own.
and because of that, this shit, I don't know how to feel just like you, bro, because Jay-Z saved this shit so many times.
It's easy, man. It's 10 years too late.
Exactly.
If this album would have dropped back then, people probably would have liked it.
With Jay on it like this, with Jay-Z
Without
on it like
Jay-Z,
this,
without
Jay-Z.
Jay-Z. Yep.
No, because the way he was rapping on Exhibit A and
Bro.
C, and
Bro.
this
Exactly.
shit is miles better than this.
Yes.
And he did this in 40 days and 40 nights.
And that's the problem.
Yeah, like
He should have made it 80 days and 80 weeks.
That's a good point. He made it 10 years.
No, he wasn't writing
writing
this for 10 years. And see,
right.
that's where I think my theory comes in. I don't think he was doing shit.
I don't think he was.
I don't think
He
he
was
had.
just
I don't
living
think he
life.
had a bunch of loosies.
Didn't he just say that though? Didn't he say that on the album? He said I was watching Fallon at night and shit like that.
Yeah.
He alluded to it.
Yeah, he kind of alluded to that he hadn't been
That
writing.
he hasn't been ruled.
He had like writer's block or some shit.
Oh, he did say
Yeah,
that. He
yeah,
had
yeah,
that line.
Yeah.
And he was saying how he
Yeah.
didn't want to drop something, have people judge him.
Yeah.
Which,
It's gonna happen. You're in that space.
but that's a bullshit excuse.
It is.
I'm sorry.
100%.
Again, that sounds.
What's a bullshit excuse?
Saying I don't want to drop an album because people are gonna tear it apart.
Well, that's part
You
of.
can't say that 10 years down the line, bro.
That's part of it. Like I said, I think he really had writer's block.
This will not flop on Rock Nation, goddammit. We gonna take this and we gonna make it something because what you gave me wasn't enough.
But Jay-Z shouldn't have done this, I don't think.
I agree.
I don't think he should have saved them.
No.
I
Who
Jay-Z
didn't have a
had no
choice?
choice.
Jay-Z didn't have no choice.
Why didn't Jay-Z have a choice?
This
'Cause
is on his imprint.
I think I'm going back to.
Then don't release it.
Go ahead. Oh.
I'm sorry, I keep cutting you off. Finish
No,
what you're
it's
saying.
fine. It's fine. Yeah, I think just to add on, or just to kind of echo what you're saying, I think this was a contractual obligation. I think he knew that he was not going to get this album, and he forced this man into the studio to do this.
I think so too.
It's the
I think
only
so
thing
too.
that makes sense.
I think so too. Now the two.
So you don't think he turned in stuff and he's like, "Look, man, we need to bulk this up."
No.
I think Jay-Z wants to get rid of this.
Yep.
I think the Rock Nation part, I think Jay-Z just wants to be rid of Jay Electronica altogether.
Then he should have just not released it. He should just let the contract run out and be like, all right, we're done.
But I still enjoyed it though. I still enjoyed what I got though.
I can't say that I did that
But
much. really.
I have my criticisms.
But
like
if you
y'all,
take
but I still
away
enjoyed it.
Jay-Z, would you have said that you still
But I
enjoyed
can't
this?
because he's there. So
This
what
is
I'm saying
Jay-Z's
is,
album.
basically, but what I'm saying is that it is what it is at this point.
Right.
Okay,
So
I
I'm just
feel that.
enjoying what I got.
What you
Right.
got? I feel you.
Yeah.
I am
feel
happy we finally got Jay-Z over at Alchemist Production. This is like our
That
first
shit was
time
so good.
hearing Jay-Z over at Alchemist Production, and that damn sample was fucking fly as shit. And there was another joint on here too that I thought that actually choked me up. Was the last song?
Oh, the text.
APID.
Yeah.
I
the
got
last-
text in my phone that'll never
Yeah, the
ring
last song,
again.
that
Oh,
that joint
man.
when he was talking about when he said last time I kissed you, you was cold, but you look peaceful, and that's the same thing I did to my mother. So
Yeah.
like that shit choked me up when he was talking about that shit. So that was a bright spot.
I don't know if y'all, cause you know how Jay, he'll come out, he'll perform live and stuff, and he'll do like unreleased verses and freestyles and shit. I want to say it was last year, and he was talking about how he was just on the phone with Nip, and he was telling them like, "Hey, bro, like you gotta clear out your schedule. Like you got 100 million on your table. Like there's certain things you gotta do. You know what I'm saying?" And then it made me instantly think of Nipsey.
What does
So
APIDTA
So
stand
yeah,
for?
yeah.
All praise is
Due to Allah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't listen to a lot of Jay-Z, but it was very interesting to hear him being that vulnerable, I guess. And I was wondering if that's something that he does a lot.
Even after 444? Because
Well,
he was
more
vulnerable.
about his girl. Or
But he was
whatever it is.
vulnerable. That's the most vulnerable we ever heard, Jay.
Okay, so that's what
Soul
I'm getting at. So,
Cry.
but he's talking about, you know, it sounds like he's talking about losing a friend. Because when he said that shit about I got texts in my phone that'll never ding again, I was like, damn, that's like and the way he said it,
yeah.
it almost sounded like he was about to cry.
Yeah.
So when I was listening to that, I was like, damn, this don't sound like a Jay-Z that I know. I mean, this whole project doesn't sound like a Jay-Z I know
Right.
because it sounds like the Jay-Z that was listening to Mac Homie. But that song in particular didn't sound like something I would expect Jay-Z to say. So I found that to be really interesting. And does he make songs like that?
He has a
does.
song. He has a song
Cry
called
and stuff
Regrets.
like that. Yeah.
He had a song and Regrets.
And Regrets. Yeah.
Regrets
Regrets
was
is like
that was a deep song too.
Yeah.
Because that song hit me because like I had a friend that died a couple years ago and his texts are still in my phone. 'Cause I just don't. It just seems weird to delete them.
Yeah.
You know, him saying that shit about text that'll never ding again. Because I look at it and I'm like, dang. We were in the middle of a conversation and you passed away like 2 days later, and we're never gonna get a response to this. And there's like. There's an Aesop Rock line where he says something very similar. Here's how the Great Escape goes when you can't take your dead friends' names out your phone, and that's a line
When
that's
Yams
always
passed
stuck
away,
with me
I think when
hard.
A$AP
Yeah,
Yams
this
passed
is when
away, yeah.
he's talking about Camus, and it was like, damn, like I got texts in my phone right now from a couple of dead friends that I just can't delete.
That's interesting. He didn't even rap on that song, but you still took away a Jay thing.
Yeah. That's crazy.
I didn't take away
That's crazy.
anything from. I'm trying to think. I'm looking at the track list, and it's only a few songs on here, really.
Ezekiel's Wheel.
Yeah, because technically it's only 8 new songs.
Oh, I did catch the. Thank God that I just finished True Blood because I caught that line about I'm loyal to Elijah the way
like,
Eric is to
it's
Godric.
Yeah.
Who said that?
Jay
Elec?
Elec on Ezekiel's Wheel. He said on
Yeah.
Ezekiel's
Oh, okay.
Wheel.
And he had that dope line. I forget what song it was. He had that dope line about pajamas. Which now I can't remember. I remember all Jay-Z's lines, but I can't remember Jay
But
Elec's.
see, I like the way Jay Electronica sounds, though.
I used to, because he had that dope, deep voice.
He did.
But I feel
it
like
was-
he still had it.
But it was backed by bars.
Okay, that's
and
what
I
I was gonna
feel
say.
like a lot of the bars are just kind of gone. Because it's like, yeah, he had that line about, something like I'm fucking with a Rothschild. I bet you I get my more bang for my dollar or something like that. I mean, I don't really need those kind of bars from Jay Electronica right now, especially not on an album where Jay-Z is saying some of the wild shit that he's saying on here.
So let me ask y'all this: if Jay wasn't on there outshining him, do you think you still would feel the same way?
I would feel worse.
Worse?
Yeah.
If Jay-Z was not on this album, I would think this was like a solid D+.
I would have been like, what the hell is going on, Jay Elect?
I'm not hearing the different Jay Electronica that y'all are talking about.
Shit. Jay Electronica used to have bars where you really had to think like, God damn, what the fuck?
He said some wild off, like some shit you got to kind of decipher, but
there's none of that here.
There's like
none of that here.
At times, like
I feel like he had moments like that here.
I didn't hear him. All I heard was them rapping about fucking Islam. For multiple.
But that's the shit that kind of confused me though. Because
that shit didn't confuse me at all because it wasn't even deep.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you, Ken.
Hey, no, you're absolutely right. But because he was hiding behind it, that I guess kind of tricked me in a sense.
Okay, I
see what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But it was very, 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 very surface level. They think that we're not the real Jews, and the synagogue of Satan has been wanting to hang by my tie. But it was like you took 10 years to say shit about Islam that Brother Ali, that Immortal Technique have said way better. But you're supposed to be this God MC. Like, what's going on?
And bro,
has he not always been that guy though?
But
what do you mean?
Like what you're saying now, like because we're talking about 10 years ago, right? Was Jay Electronica not rapping something like this?
Hell no. Jay Electronica 10 years ago was rapping his ass off. 10 years ago, when people were saying that Jay Electronica is one of the best rappers to ever touch a microphone, I couldn't argue it.
See, I don't think that. I like on Exhibit C. I don't think Exhibit C is that. Like, how was he rapping like crazy on Exhibit C?
So I was just listening to that.
Yeah.
And he has a level of energy that can't be fucked with.
Is like that or the beat?
Bars.
The beat is dope.
The beat is
no. But it's Jay Electronica. It's Jay Electronica.
I think it's the marriage between the two.
Hell no.
No. The artist themselves. You know, like when we play basketball, right?
I don't agree.
And we see somebody that's hella talented, but they don't have the confidence to go out there and do what we know that they can do.
Right.
That person's somewhat timid.
Okay.
Jay Electronica sounded timid on his new album. When I listened to him on Exhibit C,
right.
That's that motherfucker that got all the confidence, all the bravado. Nigga, I'm the God MC. Like, he doesn't sound like that on his own shit.
He wasn't ready yet.
Exactly.
And success came so fast. Expectations were so high.
Yeah, after Exhibit C,
he didn't know what to do.
It was so high.
Yep.
You needed a thesaurus, a Quran, a Bible, a dictionary, and Google, and Ask Jeeves to decipher the shit he was saying on Eternal Sunshine.
No, Eternal Sunshine, yes.
But that's what I'm saying. You're saying he wasn't rapping that differently.
Well, I brought up Exhibit C.
But that's one song.
Okay.
I wasn't saying that off of it. I know people were. Yeah. I wasn't saying that off of Exhibit C.
Oh, okay. Because Exhibit C doesn't sound too different from this.
It not too different.
He does though. He does.
Yeah.
Go back and listen to him.
Like, what are we talking about exactly? The energy or the way he raps?
He sounds more confident.
Yeah. I'll give y'all that. I'm just talking about the level of MC that y'all are talking about. Y'all saying like it sounded like he went down a few notches.
He did. Since Eternal Sunshine, he may have dropped one notch down on to Exhibit C.
Okay.
But since Exhibit C to this, he dropped down a few notches.
Okay.
You know how on late registration, for those of you, go check out the Patreon if you're not a patron. When I listened to the album, I was questioning things.
Yeah.
I was questioning things when I was listening to this.
The news joint.
Same.
About a written testimony. I was questioning, like, was Jay Electronica really that good?
Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying right now.
So you're saying that he's
it sounds like the same guy
to me. No.
It sounds like the same guy. Maybe not the same energy, but it sounds like the same guy.
I'm okay with the energy because a lot of the tracks don't exhibit
exactly. I know they're saying that.
Yeah, a lot of the tracks don't really have that outside of the blinding. But most of it is kind of laid back, kind of, airy, spacious, kind of reserved.
I wasn't mad at this, man.
I wasn't mad at this like energy you, and he older than you, man.
Jay-Z shouldn't out energy you, and Jay-Z always raps like he's about half asleep anyway. But Jay-Z still out-rapped you, out-cadenced you, out-barred you. Like, on your debut album.
Yeah.
All right, so let's just throw Jay out, right?
We can't. That's throwing the whole album out.
I know.
I'm not even joking.
I understand, but taking him away and leaving Jay Electronica,
This is a flop.
it's a flop because
Jay Electronica is not rapping to the skill level that we would expect after waiting 10 fucking years.
so it's an expectation thing for you that he didn't meet.
Jay Electronica is not rapping any better than anybody else in his peer group.
Did he sound bad on it?
I don't think he sounded bad.
Okay.
He just sounded very dull.
Okay. So I guess the fact that he didn't sound bad on it satisfied me.
The fact that he didn't sound great on it disappointed me.
You. Got you.
Because, I mean, even he produced almost all of this, right?
Yeah, so with exception like 3.
So I see the
And
glass
then-
half full. You said half empty.
I see the glass 3/4 empty.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
well, yeah, I'm talking about the way we looking at it.
No, I know.
Yeah,
I'm saying
yeah,
it's not even a half and half at this point.
I got you.
It's like I wanted to see this half full.
Yeah.
But then when I really think about it, I think Jay Electronica dropped the ball, and I think the way he's lashing out on Twitter, like getting mad at Rosenberg for what he said, even if it doesn't matter if I disagree with Rosenberg or not, the things he's saying on Twitter towards Rosenberg. Then you have the Joe Budden situation. I mean, Joe Budden said, I took you off this shit, now it's a Hove mixtape. Everything about this to me, it sounded like Jay Electronica wrote and produced this without much of a care of making a solid 10-year wait album.
Yep.
Like even
I
some of the
feel that.
production, like you were talking about Flux Capacitor.
I ain't like that beat.
See, now the thing is, I love that beat.
I ain't care for that beat.
It
But you don't
sounds like
them over it. It said that it wasn't mixed
I
right.
love them over it too.
So you thought that?
Yeah, I thought Flux Capacitor was dope.
I thought
care
that
for
shit
the
was
beat.
mixed horribly.
The thing about that song to me is it sounds a bit too weirdo rap for a Jay Electronica Jay-Z
Oh, so
debut
they don't- okay.
project.
Yeah.
I love that song. I love that beat. It definitely sounds like he just threw a bunch of shit into a mixer and turned that shit
Man.
on and said, "Here's a beat."
I was like, oh my
I
god.
can understand people hating it,
Yeah.
but that's my kind of shit.
I thought that's why they called it Flux Capacitor because like that's the Back
From
to
Back
the
to the Future, but-
shit. So I thought it was just supposed to be kind of weird and futuristic type of shit, something.
It didn't really sound futuristic to me. It sounded like some late 90s fucking Anacon Def Joke shit. Which that's my kind of stuff, but for you to be throwing that on an album 20 years after that sounds prime, and then you're putting Jay-Z over it, which Jay-Z sounded great. But the first thing that came to mind was that's the song where I was like, oh, it's Mac Homie. Because I feel like Mac Homie would rap over a beat like that. And I feel like Mac Homie would rap over a beat like that the way Jay-Z was rapping over a beat like that. Because Jay-Z doesn't even do those weird stop-start things that he does. Like,
Yes, he does.
He does.
He has.
so Jay-Z raps like he was in that first song.
Mike, look, let me.
I'm asking.
No, I know. Hold on, I'm gonna just break it something down for you because you're not a Jay-Z fan and you haven't listened to.
Okay,
Jay-Z.
we know that. Get to the point.
The point is that if you listen to Jay-Z, nothing that he's done will surprise you. That's the
bullshit.
thing.
That's not what he was asking.
No, that's not at all.
He's
Thank
done
you,
the stuff.
Ken.
What I'll address what you're saying.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
he did.
But
he's done the
I
stuff.
addressed that.
No,
though.
you didn't.
I basically
You said you're not surprised.
I said, have you done this before?
because he's done this type shit
He
before.
has
That's not what you
he has
said.
Not rapped like this before, Ralph.
You can't huff and puff at me because you were saying
All
some
I'm
shit
say-
that didn't come out.
Just look. All I'm saying is that if you listen to Jay-Z, the start and stop, he's done that before.
Thank you.
I want to hear Rod. Rod, what was you gonna say?
Thank you.
Anything that Jay has done now in present time will not surprise you if you've been a Jay-Z fan. Nothing.
Like those songs that on the first two songs on here, where he's rapping that almost choppy type flow.
Yeah, the
he
flow,
does that before.
Flow, not content. So I thought when they were saying he sounded like Mac Homie, I thought they was talking about the content. I didn't know they was talking about the flow. I seen the Mac Homie references, and I thought they was talking about what he was rapping about. I didn't think they was talking about the flow because I've heard him do that flow before. So I was like, nah, they can't be talking about the flow because he's done that before. They must be talking about the content, the way he's rapping, what he's rapping about. So that's what I thought.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe he just needed to not produce it and just rap.
No, I don't think that's the problem. I think the problem is he did everything in 40 days and 40 nights.
Yeah.
Did you like the project at all? Like,
I don't know. I don't know, honestly. Because when I listened to it, it was very flat afterwards. There was no high, there was no low. It was just okay.
Okay.
You know, but I won't necessarily say it's bad.
Yeah.
I just really think it's just 10 years too late. And I didn't even go in it with a lot of high expectations because I knew he wasn't going to be able to deliver on that. Could you give us a really solid to good album? And I don't think we got that. I think Jay-Z was good. I think Jay Electronica was okay. And I think the beats were okay with a couple of dope beats on the album. But overall, I think it's just, I think this is just it. I think he just fulfilled and done the one thing that he's been a joke for 10 years now.
I liked it. I just think it wasn't 10 years worth the wait. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
I get you.
I think you said it. Like, it's not a bad album. Like this album is not like horrible and no shit like that.
Yeah,
I enjoy listening to a good amount of these tracks, but just like overall, it's like damn, Jay.
You
like,
wanted more.
Yeah, I wanted a little more. I mean, I was hoping that we was gonna get a Jay Electronica. Like, I wanted to see him carry this album. Like I wanted Jay Elect to carry this album, and he didn't. And that was like the disappointment or let down. I ain't gonna say disappointment because when it dropped, I was like, oh okay, he finally released it. Like it was because the wait was just been so long. I was just kind of like, yeah, whatever. Okay, I know I'm gonna listen to it because we're gonna review it. So I like let me go ahead and dive into it. But yeah, it was just like I was hoping for more Jay Elect, and it was just like once I finished, I was like, yo, this shit. Like he didn't sound energetic or inspired like I thought. Like I was assumed that he would sound like. You know, especially after 10 years.
For me, I was disappointed. I was disappointed. I don't think it was bad, but again, this is not a Jay-Z album, and I felt it was a Jay-Z album, you know, or I felt like it was a Watch the Throne collaboration. Like it was not Jay Electronica.
I enjoyed this album. Yeah, I think because I saw a lot of people on Twitter tearing the beats apart. I thought the beats were cool. I just think that they're not cool for someone that's on a mainstream level. So people are looking at that and they're just like, I don't get why he's doing that. Like even on that Ezekiel's, I forget the name of it, Ezekiel's Wheel, that beat's super weird. And that's the one where it has Dream doing that weird. That shit was dope. No, I like it.
Yeah.
I think it's cool as shit.
Yeah.
But I can see someone that might listen to mainly Jay-Z projects and things of that level that be like, well, this is goofy and weird. I don't like this.
Yeah, that shit was dope.
But yeah, I like the project. I'm definitely disappointed, but at the same time, I'm also kind of curious now because this is a Jay-Z that I've never heard. This is a Jay-Z that I've never heard. So this is making me want to go and find these songs that you were talking about where he raps like this that Ken says doesn't exist. But if y'all two say they exist, I want to hear Jay-Z rapping like this. Because this shit could make me a Jay fan. I think Jay Electronica knew that people were gonna have this reaction. And even though he would probably be happy if people didn't talk about this, I'm sure in the back of his head he'd be wondering why they didn't.
I don't know, man. I don't
People
think he
were
thinks
happy
that.
though.
I guarantee he thinks this.
I don't think he thinks it, and it's because of the one line where he said he felt like he struck the lottery. It's a cheat code and all that. I thought he think this is gonna go over really well.
Give me Ghost of Soulja Slim. Give me The Blinding. Give me Never Ending Story. Give me Flux Capacitor.
My favorite tracks are The Blinding, The Never Ending Story, Flux Capacitor, Ezekiel's Wheel.
Give me the Ghost of Soulja Slim, Never Ending Story, Ezekiel's Will, and the last track.
Give me Ghost of Soulja Slim, give me The Blinding, Flux Capacitor, and Apipta.
Jay Electronica, if you watching, man, look, I said it in the review, bro. I'm disappointed because this is your debut album, not a collaborative joint with Jay. And then you didn't even market it that way. If you marketed it that way, I would have been more accepting of it, but just not. Your energy wasn't there.
I think that part backfired. I think he thought it was gonna be a surprise, and then, oh man, y'all gonna love it.
Yeah,
whatever.
and it didn't work out. It didn't work out. It worked out. It worked out against him. It really did, and in a horrible way. But here's the thing: you were a bit slouchy here, but I don't think you are a slouchy MC. After 10 years, and obviously a lot of the comments that you are gonna get on this project, even though you try to determine the narrative of what people are gonna say. It is what it is, man. I think that you owe the people more music and faster than 10 years.
I'm gonna start with Jay-Z first. Jay-Z, it was like really, really dope hearing you rap like this, like hearing you rap. It's one of the things that I've been saying for years that I've wanted from you, man. So if it took this, or I know what you went through with your personal life, may have been tumultuous for you, but something good came out of it. I think that's dope. Jay Electronica, just stop. I don't think you should make another album. I think the expectations of 10 years since you first came on scene to now, I think was a bit too much. And I think to come out and put this out, for it not to go the way that, I don't know what you expected, but it just didn't go in a way that I would have liked. And from what I'm seeing, it's not overly good. And I think for you to try to come back to top this or whatever, I think it's gonna be too much, man. I think the pressure's gonna be too much. I think just enjoy life and move forward, man.
Dude, just stop rapping.
Yeah, just stop rapping, bro.
But he's not a bad rapper.
I'm not saying he's a bad rapper.
He'll just never recover from this, you don't think?
I think to try to recover from this after 10
hard.
years, I think it would be too much. And
You don't want that for him?
I won't say I don't think he can do it, because I think he can. I think the talent and everything is there, but it's just something about the pressure. I think he's not taking this well.
Jay Electronica, if you watching, even though I say I enjoyed the album and I do fuck with it, I feel like with you having Jay-Z on damn near every track, I feel like you was riding a bike and you never took the training wheels off. So like I feel like, cause we wanted the album. Me personally, after 10 years, I wanted an album with just you. You know what I'm saying? Especially after Exhibit A, Exhibit C, Dear Moleskin. What? See, I'm trying to get this. I'm trying to finish.
You just told this man he came
Right in the big way.
You just told this man he came out of bike.
Let me
You said Jay-Z is running behind him, hold the seat.
Oh shit! Yo, that is a hot fucking take. I thought Kid had a hot take. Your shit was hotter.
Yo, you got me sweating.
Yo, you straight Jay-Z Kid.
He did.
Let me finish
This man can't ride a bike.
Let me finish. Yeah, because he had like pretty much Jay-Z to like handicap him throughout this whole album, and I wanted a Jay Electronica album. Like I wanted to see how you would do, hold the album up on your own. So that was my disappointment. Like I said, even though I still fuck with the album, don't think I hate the album or anything like that. But just knowing what you made before, and then coming off with this your debut written testimony, you didn't even start that shit off the Ghost of Soulja Slim, like from New Orleans. So yeah, I just feel like you should have took them training wheels off, bro. But other than that, Jay-Z, you did your shit, man. Like you rap like you was inspired again.
Jay Electronica, this is how I feel, bro. I feel like I went to a restaurant, right? And I ordered vegan chicken. The vegan chicken came with fries, but I was really hyped for that vegan chicken. The chicken came. The chicken was cool. It was good. Tasted them fries, though. And I didn't even know the fries came with the meal. Fries were banging. Banging. Totally better than the chicken. That makes the entire plate disappointing. I'm not even trying to be disrespectful. I feel like you can get upset, you can lash out, but at the end of the day, I really feel like you know the truth. You know the fries are better than that chicken, bro. You should have left them fries off the plate. And it'd have been better off me just leaving and saying, it's pretty good chicken. Not as good as I expected it to be after this wait, but it was pretty good. It was pretty decent chicken. I've had better, but I've had much worse. But Jay Electronica, I still think you are an incredible rapper. You are better than a lot of people. I just feel like you did not really display it on this album. And as a fan of yours for a very long time, I'm disappointed. So unlike Ken, I do want you to put out more music. I hope that the response from this makes you understand the level of MC people hold you to, and I hope you do better. But this was not a good start off, bro. This was not a good start off at all.